9 o'clock, we'll probably still make it.
Yeah, I think so, if you're out the door that early. Well, hey, it's time for Tech Tuesday, and whether you work from home or you're in the office, you could soon see some pretty big changes at your workstation.
That's because Microsoft is launching a new version of its operating software today. And joining us live to break down what you can expect from Windows 11 and some other tech headlines is our expert, Greg Nibbler. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning. Yeah, for you PC users out there, this is a pretty big day. So Microsoft unveiling Windows 11. Well, they've already unveiled it, but it starts rolling out today for the updates. And this is the first time in 6 years that we've seen an update. That was when Microsoft Windows 10 came out. So it's a big change. It is a free update if your computer is eligible. You can double check it at the Microsoft site, but most likely if you're running Windows 10 already, you're probably going to be eligible for the update. But they are going to be rolling it out slowly. So you may not get a notification today, maybe over a couple of months. They didn't really specify how, but it is coming. So what's the difference between Windows 10 and Windows 11? That's kind of the big question. It is going to have a definite different look to it, which you would expect. So the usual start button, which I think we're all used to being on the left-hand side, is now going to move to the center, which that may seem like a small change, but if you're just used to clicking over there, that's going to take some getting used to as far as that kind of change to it. And some of the other things they're going to be doing is really further integrating this idea between mobile use, like a mobile OS, and an actual PC OS. You're going to see that with desktop widgets. So you have some new widgets that you can use and control. We'll give you, weather updates or news updates or however you want to do that. So something you can pop up onto the screen. But they're also going to be further integrating into Android apps. So Android apps will now be more usable on a PC. There were ways you could kind of get around before, but now it's really going to be part of it. And I think that's kind of a sign of where we're going with operating systems is whatever system you're going to be using, they're going to look more and more similar, kind of along the lines of what Apple is doing. So you can kind of see where they're heading with that. But that's going to be, I think, a big key component of it, is that part of it.
Okay. We have Microsoft, right, here at the
Yes,
all of
we
our
do.
office stuff. Okay.
So we will probably be upgrading to Windows 11.
Yeah,
You do have a few years before
Okay.
you have to do it. They said they'll support it till 2025. So
Gotcha. I just wait for the office email that says log out of everything. We're doing an update. I'm like, okay, somebody else take care of
Yeah.
it. I don't want to click on anything I'm not supposed to.
exactly.
Just keep our hands off of it and let the IT people handle it.
That's best. Yeah.
Okay, so hey, we got some news for our Apple fans as well. The Apple Watch Series 7 pre-orders start this week.
Yeah, pre-orders start on Friday. So they announced it, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or so. Starts on Friday, and then it actually starts arriving a week from Friday. So from the 8th to the 15th, you'll be able to get your hands on this. And I think the big question for a lot of people is, should you upgrade? If you have an Apple Watch, they've kind of been at the top of smartwatches, but is it worth going from a Series 6 to a Series 7? And there's a few differences I just wanted to highlight in case people are trying to make that decision. The Series 7 is slightly bigger. On paper, it doesn't sound like much. It's by millimeters, but when you're actually using it, it has more space on it. It's got smaller bezels around the side, so more screen to work with. And they've developed the new OS to kind of go along with that. So you'll have more things you can do. There's going to be a more functional keyboard on it, and they're going to really utilize that screen more. So that's one aspect. The screen's also going to be brighter. They set up to 70% brighter indoors. So that's kind of a cool feature as well. But I think a lot of it for this, on whether you're going to upgrade or not, comes down to the durability factor and what you're using it for. Because they're saying the screen is going to be completely scratch resistant. So if you're like me and you're clumsy, that's a good feature to have. You're less likely to ding it up and scratch it or take a chunk out of it. It's also going to have a better dust rating, which is IPX6 is what they're going to have on these ones. So that means essentially no dust can get in there. So if you're out using this outdoors, you're out hiking on trails or camping, the likelihood of getting some little tiny piece of dirt in there and really screwing it up is pretty much unlikely that's going to happen at all. It's got the same waterproof rating, so you'll still be able to swim with it and all of that. But I think that the big factor here is durability. Like, what are you using it for? And that's where integration with health apps is going to be better. Apple Fitness Plus, if you're a big user of that, you'll be able to use this for a lot more. So I think for me, that's where the key factor would be, is if you're using it for those things, then yeah, it might be worth the upgrade. If not, I mean, take a look at what the new functions are. If you really want a bigger screen, then that'd be a good thing. Otherwise, you might be fine sticking with the previous one.
Yeah, I know a lot of people swear by their Apple Watches. So, you know, any improvements, I think some people will be looking for.
Yeah, it seems like they're really leaning into that health and fitness space. So I could see a lot of people asking for that one. I'm sure it's going to be a hot Christmas list item as well.
Oh, yeah.
Get those pre-orders in now. Yeah.
Just in time. Well, Honda is announcing a new initiative that includes something called Avatar robots. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so it's Honda's research and development side, and they really do a lot more than just cars. They've been investing in all kinds of stuff, and this is part of the new initiative, is this idea that they foresee a future where we have avatar robots of some kind that we control from afar. Now, we've seen different companies experiment with this before, but they really want to put a lot of money into it, and the idea would be you put on a VR headset, you have a haptic feedback glove. So this would be a glove to where it gives you the feeling of wherever it is you are, say you're picking up a rock somewhere, you would feel it in that glove and like feel the weight of it and the texture of it. And they think that there's a few things you can do with them. One being, you know, just exploration or going on a vacation essentially somewhere else through your avatar robot, but really like looking at remote surgeons. So say somebody is somewhere around the world and they want a surgeon from another country, instead of flying them out there, make it a lot easier. You go into one of these things and you get instant feedback, and they could actually perform surgery with one of these.
Wow.
And then it's going, yeah, right. That would be something I think would be a really useful case for something like this, is to just for better healthcare for people. But then they go as far as like space exploration or sending someone to another planet, and you would have this avatar that walks around. I mean, it gets really sci-fi really quick.
Gosh, yeah.
Right? Yeah, but I mean, they think that that's the future of where we're going to be heading.
Wow. Okay. The surgeon stuff, the healthcare stuff, very cool. Me taking a virtual vacation, I don't think so. I want to go on the real vacation.
You want to go to the place, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
That's old school right there.
I want to actually have the daiquiri in my hand. I don't just want the glove to pretend.
While you're looking.
Virtual daiquiri does not sound as good.
It doesn't cut it. It doesn't cut it. That's pretty cool, though. Well, thanks as always for sharing your tech wisdom with us, Greg. We'll see you next week.
Sounds great.
All right. Thanks, Greg. And if you want to stay up to date on all things tech with Greg, be sure to follow him on Twitter @Greg Nibbler. We also have a link on coin.com.